you are joined by me, Chris.
And me, Jay.
And we have On the Ball episode 10 for you.
Double figures.
In short succession to episode 9.
And do you know what I've just noticed? I'm just getting the questions up on my phone. We are very close to 800 subscribers.
Ooh,
that's flew up. We only hit 700 a couple of weeks ago. You guys are awesome.
You rock.
I mean, they've clearly got good taste. But other than that, they are very, very awesome. So, thank you all. And our plea last week seems to have worked. Because we have lots and lots and lots of questions.
Let's crack on then.
So, before we start, if the audio is a little bit wobbly or the camera is a bit dodgy, we dropped the ball.
Yeah.
we dropped the ball.
We've had a bit of a mare. We've had an own goal today.
So, we arranged to meet today after work, and I got to work this morning, and I realised me and Chris hadn't had the conversation about who's going to bring their camera. And I came to work without my camera, assuming I was going to ask Chris, and Chris assumed I was bringing mine. So we're rocking the iPhone.
So we're going old school. We're on my iPhone. So
that's it.
If the picture quality or the sound is a bit naff, then bear with us.
But I think that proves we put the viewers first.
We put the effort in for you guys.
Yeah. So let's jump straight in. So first question is Ian Marley. He's took the Lord out of his YouTube name. I like Lording him out. Anyway, are you guys going to be selling those awesome GBI dice at Vengeance? We don't know.
We are unsure. We got them initially for ourselves just as a test, but we've already had quite a good bit.
Yeah, we bought them as a test, which was an excuse for me and you to pick up some exclusive dice, and we think we probably will. Those of you who know me from the Hobbit community and my cheaty Black Campaign dice, as with that, I quite think we should keep one colour just for Channel Horse, because that keeps it nice for us. Yeah. Bit of a reward for us, but we will probably do a run of some different colours and get them out to people.
Yeah, so guys, if you post on the comments what sort of colours you would fancy.
And do you want GBI dice at Vengeance, let us know. Yeah. If we get a surge of people saying bring them, we'll bring them. Simple as. So cheers, Marley. Next up is
one half of the
Vitruvian Goblin.
So, sup guys? Sorry I've not written lately. Busy winning a local tournament.
No, do you know what? Like, massive credit to Parker. To this day, me and Parker still have, no offence, like the best game of Guild Ball I've ever had was with this guy, and it was the closest game I've ever had. So well done, buddy. Like, massively, massively deserved.
Maybe he'll be able to play a different team now, and not just stick to one team.
Maybe that's what I'm doing wrong.
Maybe that is what you're doing wrong. So anyway, seriously got some questions. Number one, how do you feel about the latest errata with Gutter and Blind? What are your views on that?
Okay, so Gutter, yep, fully on board. She still, look at his face! Ooh. She still felt a little bit thingy for me. There's loads of fan theories about the best way to change Gutter. I've not played her. I've not played with or against her since. So I've not seen the impact it has on game. What about you?
I was devastated, if I'm honest. I agree with one of the two changes, either or, but the fact that she lost AoE and she lost -4 to -2.
Dude, we're talking about Gutter.
We're talking about Gutter. We're talking about
listening.
Gutter, the range bit, not too fussed, I guess.
It stops ridiculous turn one player being pulled in, and at least if she does, she's pulling them into base and she's overcommitting herself to pull them in and things like that.
If I'm honest, I did always feel a bit cheaty on turn one when I could basically pull somebody in.
Always tickle me when you see Union versus Union, and you'll be like, guys, it's the end of turn 2. Why is everyone still sat waiting for someone to dare move up? Like,
so you could with her previous connotation, you could pretty much pull anybody in, get 3 or 4 bits of momentum to make sure you went first, second turn, and no one else bar the Masons with their tricky activations and double activations can do that. So it did always feel a bit unfair. So I'm thinking that's fine.
I agree.
It will bring it back down a bit to the level where they probably intended it. It's good reposition. Again, I probably thought it was too powerful compared to Harpoon, so I'm quite good that Harpoon is 6 and Chain Blast 4, which I can see.
Makes sense. It scales it. And then
I don't need to talk about
Blind. You're not a fan of Blind. I actually am. Blind in itself for me, it was always crazy that it didn't affect your kick, which in my head would be the one it would affect. So I do like that. And you're seeing a lot more in the meta lately of people scoring a goal and then setting up a good solid model for snapshots. Like, you can ruin that with Blind. You can just go, it's now sat there with no influence because he's there for snapshots, and he now can't score. So I do like it. It does. I can see why people are upset, but me personally, I think it's a positive change.
To be fair, the only reason I'm that upset is because the sole purpose I used blind was to reduce those hitty-killy teams like the Brewers. So, and I can see how they're saying that.
The problem was, like, Brewers and Masons to a degree have got low defence. It was just so cheap, and it could just I think this has actually been said, and without quoting it, it's like, what do they call it, a negative play experience.
Yeah,
and like, if you play with a Brewers team and you just spend like, imagine if you played like Calculus Hemlock double blinding. You're never moving it. It would be a bit grim.
But that's the only way I could beat them.
Yeah, I can't beat Brewers.
I can't think of another way to do it. So
cool.
I can see that wasn't the way it was intended, and they've changed it to be more in line. And it just means I'll have to change how I use Hemlock, so it's fine.
Cool. So question 2.
So question 2. Apart from the captains and mascots, who do you consider an auto include for each team?
Okay. So Alchemist,
Quickly.
Vitriol, Brewers, Hooper.
No,
Yeah.
actually not substitute.
No, you can't.
For me, no.
Are you serious? No, it's
Yeah.
Hooper. You cannot. He's the second like damage train after that.
I think when playing with
Friday.
Estes, when playing with Estes, I think Hooper would sometimes get in the team.
No, you're crazy.
So I don't really play Brewers. So
Me either.
Union-
Butchers. We'll do it in alphabetical order.
Butchers.
Butchers is shank all day long.
Well, did you see the latest? Well, you would have done the latest match report I did with James.
Yeah, I did.
I wasn't allowed. He wasn't allowed to use Shank.
Yeah.
But he did fine without. So
Shank is amazing. Engineers, Colossus now.
Ratchet.
Oh no, Velocity, Ratchet,
No,
behave.
I don't. I don't know. Salvo, I think for me.
No, Velocity for me, I think.
Okay.
Or maybe
So-
even Hoist now. Actually, Hoist is good. So fish. So after Shark, Sakana.
I think
I
Sakana
love
now.
Sakana.
I think
Morticians.
Silence. Definitely play.
Yes,
Morticians without
gotta be.
Silence.
Bring
Three
straight
influence,
shot out.
Yeah,
Go
brilliant.
next, yeah.
Union.
No, we've missed one. Masons.
No. Harmony. No.
Mallet.
Mallet, yeah, it's got to be Mallet.
Mallet.
Mallet is one of the best.
And then the Union, which you're itching to get towards, missed.
Yeah.
It's got to be missed. It's missed over.
I think surprisingly, Union, I know people will rage at this as well, but Union don't have that many
Rage.
goal scoring options, so Mist is always in the team.
Yeah. Cool.
Number 3, just so we can wind you up, what are you most scared of when it comes to running Vengeance, and what can we do as players to help?
So, as players to help, you can be on time.
Yeah.
Enjoy yourselves, have fun, and if there's anything you need from us, just let us know.
Have poos in your hotels. Don't have poos in the Northwest Gaming Centre.
We have elected that.
It's going to be me with the rubber gloves.
Yeah, you're the tournament noob, you're getting that. But no, we genuinely just want you guys to have fun, and if there's anything we can do to improve the experience on the weekend, let us know.
What are you most scared of? You're scared of everything when it comes to
I am, man. Like Scaldic nearly gave me a mental breakdown. I was 32 man, so like you're gonna just someone give me a vodka at Vengeance. Like if I've not got a drink in hand, give me one.
We are genuinely doing it for you guys, and we want you guys to have the best experience.
It's all about player experience.
Our biggest fear is that people turn up and don't enjoy it. So
Exactly.
We want to do everything we can to make that.
Cool. Regarding things to help, we are pretty good. We will probably let people know the closer to the time as the specifics get locked in. But come down on the Friday, come and have a laugh with us. We want to get some games before the tournament kicks off.
Yeah.
Come down on the Friday and just come and enjoy yourselves, guys.
Yeah, I'm
That is
going to be
the
good.
main-
I'm not going to be able to play all weekend, so I want people.
Are you playing your grudge on Friday?
So yeah.
Who is your grudge?
James King.
Oh, James King. I'm playing Marley. I'm going crushing on that.
So number 4, now that the legendary Ben Redmond has worked out Guild Forged, the Guild Ball RPG, what type of character would you play? This is going to be very deep, so just be very quick.
Greed.
Greed stuff.
I want to just be like attached to someone and jump off and do crazy heroic stuff and then jump back on.
I always quite like elves and shooting and stuff, so I'd quite like to be some sort of nimble running around.
You could be Theron!
Theron.
That video's going
If you
in
haven't watched
first.
that video, go look at Theron.
Or seen the internet.
Your head is exploding.
Theron!
I would be Theron.
Yeah.
So who's running the book for Vengeance, and can I put my money on Steve Newman?
Do you know there was actually a joke? Someone joked, I think it was in a bit of a pundit WhatsApp group saying how much to play Steve Newton round 1 so I win a mist. Because you get a mist for losing round 1 to the winner of the tournament. And I was like, money making opportunity.
Yeah, how much would you pay to play Steve Newton in round 1?
Is Steve Newton going to win Vengeance?
I'm really.
He's up there. He's got to be the
He
favourite.
has got to be the favourite, but there are so many people, and 7 games is a big ask of anybody. So, but I don't think he's lost a tournament game for quite a while. So,
I wonder how much Steve Forge store credit he's got.
Him and Jack between them have probably got thousands. So who do you think is going to win? You, Steve? I'm going to go for someone else, but I'm not sure who.
Don't know. We've got Locks and Matt and people playing. Could be anyone.
Yeah, we've got some.
Could be anyone.
Anyway, so that's it. Thanks for all the comments. Cheers for all the great content, fellas, and I can't wait to see you at Vengeance. Love and hugs. Kick it in the goal.
Can't wait to see you, buddy. Oh, we got Marley again, and he says, if you had to choose one, which team would you never play and why? Brewers, because I cannot beat them.
Engineers.
What?
No, would you never play? As in, would you never play as or play against?
I would. Again, it's still Brewers. I don't get them and enjoy them, and I can't beat them because I don't get how to. I can't use them. I can't use them because I don't get them, and I can't beat them because I don't get them. So Brewers all around. What about you? You don't want to use Engineers.
I don't want to play Brewers.
Yeah, Brewers are tough.
I just don't. Yeah.
Brewers are a slog at the moment.
With Union,
stupid blind.
blind. I just beat stuff up really. If I don't know how to handle it, I just hit them, and it works against Butchers.
Yeah.
But it doesn't work against Brewers. So yeah, I struggle there.
Next up.
And Jesse H.
Hey buddy, thanks for asking a question.
Maybe a weird question, but I've never seen it in my games yet. If a player is taken out, then returns, and is subsequently taken out, can they return to play again? So, short answer is yes. So
every maintenance phase you generate icy sponges.
So yeah, if you get taken out every single turn, you can come back on every single turn. It just means that you would always come back on that minimum health level. So yeah, you can. I've seen it on mascots a couple of times with mainspring as well. Who comes off, goes, comes back on every single turn, and the engineers player actually play for that. So yes, you can.
Next up, Justin Cader. I'm not going to say what, but I've asked Justin Cader about the thing, which these are going to find out what's. He's keen.
Cool.
Justin Cader is in. Top secret plans, guys. He's in.
Hi, Justin.
Hey, buddy. He says, poor Gutter, should we be sad or happy about the changes to her guard? We've just covered this. I'd say happy.
Sad.
You're just a power gamer. I'll do the next one. That was a little one. Next up is Kevin Stewart, and he says, hello, informers.
Hi, mate.
Informers? Informites?
Informi.
Yeah, I like that one. We can be informi. Yeah. Sounds like a cult.
It does.
No, don't go there. So he says, if you want to get into some team-specific talk, I have a question regarding the Fisherman, as you've both played them at a high level. I'll take that. Cheers. High level. Yes. Oh, we've lost that. What are the most challenging situations for them, and how do you overcome them? Feel free to expand this into other teams you play.
So we'll stick with Fish for now.
Yeah, the most challenging thing I get with Fish is once they get a hold of you. I always say with my Fish, I do play them very aggressive, and when I say aggressive, I mean aggressive on the goal, not necessarily the other team. And I need to win by turn 3, end of turn 3, or I'm in trouble, is my usual. I play for quick wins.
I think with them, you tend to, the way you play anyway, you play quite aggressively, you get your players out of position by scoring, but then they're kind of left high and dry.
Yeah.
So if you don't score, or it goes wrong, or whatever.
That's it. The thing with my Fish build as well, it's just 100% goal threat, and when you miss a goal, your game just falls apart, which they may or may not see.
Yes.
Soon.
And for me, it's getting the ball back. So
yeah,
I think there's been
like when you get the Brewers bricking around the ball, or
give the ball to Salt and then keep
or
making
even
the ball around.
Mash with his 2-inch melee unpredictable. Yeah. It's like
so
he'll go unpredictable. You'll hit him, he'll counter, and he'll just knock you down.
Fortunately, the Fish have the best way now with Corsair and with Simon of getting the ball back. But if they drop it behind the
Corsair is great for that. I just can't bring myself to drop Sharkazard.
So one trick that people may not play very often is if somebody does manage to get the ball, sacrifice one of your players to throw it and get it, and instead of and then you're stuck in the middle of nowhere. They tend to be down one wing. Instead of trying to kick the ball back to a player, just kick it off the board.
Yeah.
If you you can't kick it straight off, but if you scatter it right on the edge of the board, it then gets placed back in the centre circle and scatters. So that's a good way of trying to move the ball around. And similarly, if somebody has just scored and Salt's gone to pick the ball up and there's no one near him, if he has an influence, he can kick the ball back off your goal edge, so that it then comes back on in the middle. So that's a good way of moving it around that people don't often see. So that's a little trick you could try.
Yeah, I hope that helps, bud. If you want us to tackle anything else specific or around that, please comment next week. And thank you for the question. There you go, bud.
So next one is from Dries Heinz.
We try this every week, in the nicest possible way. Tell us how to pronounce your name, because I feel bad when I don't know how to pronounce some names. So let us know the best way to pronounce your name.
In the comment, do like the phonetic of how we should say it.
So, cheers for asking a question.
Hi, for future reference, my name is pronounced like Reese. Like Reese with a D.
We should read these.
Dees.
Yeah,
Dees
okay.
in front. Now my question, did you record a game using Captain Waves today as well? And when can we watch it? How does he know this?
He lives in your bushes.
So we have, as soon as Rage was released, we recorded a video.
We did.
So we have that on your editing table.
It's in my editing queue.
So that will be with you hopefully.
End of the week.
So
By the end of the week.
You will have
you should get this and a match report this week, you lucky people. And you've just had a Theron spoiler. Wow, that was cool, we did that. Anyway, next up is the one, the only, the charming, the handsome, the fellow, fellow Vengeance Teal. And he says, why haven't engineers won a sanctioned event yet? And that is because nobody has took them to the event. And
stop asking this question.
Next question.
Because I've not played it yet.
Next question is Jinx Panduit. We're skimming straight over that one. We are on a bit of a time limit tonight, guys. When we meet in the city centre, we film in the library. And because we've had to film some other stuff, we've got about 45 minutes left. And we are massively appreciative of all your questions that you've really rallied behind us, so we want to make sure we get to them all.
But less questions next week.
But no, just less of gibbling trolling. We're going to skip over that one. So next up we've got Jinx Panduit, and he says, so who in the Guild Ball community gives the best hugs? And Jay, where's my t-shirt? Keep up the good work, guys. So your t-shirt is, I don't know who that is in real life, so message me. And who gives the best hugs in Guild Ball? I'm going to say
Chris Rutter.
I don't think I've had a Rutter.
Have you not?
No, am I missing out?
Yeah. Yeah, usually leads on to other stuff. Who gives good hugs? I'm quite.
Parker's a hugger.
Oh, the Bathammer guys, I must admit, are good huggers. They are.
Battlehammer hugs for the
not
winner.
scared of giving a good hug.
Parker gives a good hug.
So this
is
getting
weird.
a bit weird.
Yeah. Anyway, cheers for the question. And next up we've got. Go on, that's you, bud.
I did mean we need to translate. Why is this good for me?
Let's read it. And
When a mass macho.
Who's asking the question?
Phil Bowen.
Hey, buddy.
Tonight. You say it?
Quinnes mas macho.
Flint or Harry?
Who is more macho? That's going to be my
Macho.
totally guess.
Well, Flint isn't macho at all.
Yeah,
He's
he
not.
is, you know, he is.
He's pretty boy. Harry. I'm with
Harry the Hat?
Team Hat.
I'm going to say Flint because we're both quite uneducated. I'm not sure.
I look a
exactly.
bit like Flint.
Really?
Yeah.
No.
Didn't you say I was going to be Flint in the? Yeah.
I think I wanted something from you at the time. Cheers for the question, Phil. As always, we appreciate the support. And next we've got Oliver Current, pundit. Ollie the pundit.
And
all round nice guy.
All round nice guy. You've met him. I've not met him.
Yeah, Ollie's cool.
So
Ollie's cool. We met at the Gangster Cup.
Yeah.
And he says, why are Steamforge keeping a close eye on Midas and not Obelisk? I didn't know they were keeping a close eye on Midas. Is this something that's been posted?
I think Jamie P mentioned that they were keeping a close eye on Midas. He mentioned him in particular, but I don't think he was specifically talking about an individual. I think they are just keeping a general eye on all of.
Ollie's got some serious Obelisk beat.
He hates Obelisk for some reason.
Oh.
Not that he's got 2-inch melee, unpredictable movement, 8 influence.
Yeah.
But I think that they are just keeping in mind.
2-inch melee.
Ridiculous.
Okay. Puppet master. No, anyway, cheers for the question, bud. And we've got Ben Redmond next, and he says, so, you've got the Messengers Guild, but they're horribly up here. Well, we're fine. We were good. We were like, we need a
There's nothing wrong with being MP.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong. How would you errata to make them playable? And no, Jay, you can't. I kicked off about this. I was thinking about it, I was like, this is really cool. Why the hell am I not captain? Because I honestly don't have a massive ego, by the way. That probably came out wrong. We haven't got them to hand. We're going to struggle with that one.
Yeah.
Do us a favour, Ben. Stick it in the comments again with another question if you can for next week. And we will bring the Messengers card.
Because I've got one. Have you got some?
I haven't. I've not seen Ben in I can't get to the gaming centre these days.
I'm just ridiculously OP. I'm like the best striker in the game, but I don't think that
Wasn't I like a damage monster as well?
Yeah, us two work closely together. So you get buffs by the end.
Was it the Battle Hammer who were like Hammersley Greed?
Yeah.
And speaking of which, Parker's commented and said, and let us know if the messengers are being played by Steamforge. # Season 3 messengers. Who knows?
I think to this point, you are Battlehammer still the only guys that have actually played them on the table. But
yeah, we should give it a go.
We definitely will.
Yeah. Cool.
Next one from Peter O'Sullivan, another pundit. I think he's
he is.
He's a nice chap. Question: with Steamforge saying that they're keeping a close eye on Midas,
we've missed this.
with to do with game balance, do you think that he needs a nerf? Why, with people not using certain players because of his true rep?
Do you know what? I'm going to say something really controversial.
Go on.
I like the fact that Midas challenges team composition.
I completely agree.
And I didn't think you would, actually. I didn't think anyone would. I like the fact that Midas goes on the table and it makes you... It would maybe be nice if there was another model in the game that made you do it to that extent, so it's not just an Alchemist Ace card. Do you know what I mean? Something that could...
It's kind of my...
And I don't mean true replication by this, I mean literally... Obviously, all models have an impact on what you'll put against them, but none anywhere near as massively as Midas. In the hands of a good player, if you give him Kraken, Fangtooth, Harmony, Gutter, you're going to lose.
Yeah.
He's going to murder you like 12-0. So it is unfortunate, but I actually like it, and I think that's quite controversial.
I agree. I didn't think I would, but
it's nothing to do with the fact I've started using my Alchemist.
I quite like the fact that for a game or two, it makes me play without Gutter, and it forces my hand. I have played some games with Gutter against Midas purposefully to draw him in, because if Midas is dead, it doesn't matter whether he's stolen Silent Blow or not. And to get to steal Silent Blow, he's got to be within 6 inches of me.
Mm-hmm.
So, swings and roundabouts, but...
Isn't it 8?
No, I think it's true. Either one, but now Gutter's been changed.
So, cheers to the question, Peter. We hope to hear from you.
But I don't think he's OP.
Next
I don't think
you don't?
No, I think I'm happy with how he is now and the challenge he poses. You don't see Alchemist running away with every event, so I don't think he's
true. The numbers say something. So cheers for the question, bud. And next up, we've got the old buzzard who says, "Would you do a review of all the season 2 figures with the pros and cons of them?" Now we keep talking about this, and it's because we do the Meet the series.
Yeah.
And what we think we've agreed we're going to do is we will do Meet the and then do all 8 new players, and then Meet the season 2 mascots, do those. Meet the captains, do those. And when we do it, we will quite happily talk about their stats, their pros and cons, and little tactics that we've picked up. I think, have we probably used them all, or we're going to wait? So all the new players, because that's all we can do in its entirety. I think we've used them all between.
I think we've used all the new players.
So we will do that for you, and we will
as and when they come. But it will be a long. We're not going to do it here today, but it is something in our plans to do. So yes, we will definitely.
Cool.
Next question is from Bob, who I think is probably a new watcher and commenter.
Well, welcome, Bob. We
before.
appreciate you commenting, and please comment again next
week.
He's put every week.
So, hello, Guild Ballers.
Hello.
Have you guys considered including a topic, here's a new trick? And if you haven't, would you please do so? Like one per video. The game is out long enough to show the new people, or the more experienced who pretend they already know, some tricks you can pull off. Walk us through some amazing plays you've seen.
That's interesting. I have to admit, we can't do it with every video, because getting this content out is quite time intensive.
I think it might be in the future when we've come to the end of the Q&A or to other segments. Hayes Hobby Blog we've got going on at the moment. We've got match reports. We've got a lot of content. When they come to a natural end, we will be looking for different content.
People ask for these tips and tricks a lot, and I think what spurred it on is the Meet the Morticians video. When we had Jamie Perkins on, after we had a rundown of all the characters, we did a little bit about cool tricks with Puppet Master and stuff, and the feedback we've had off that is great. So it's our
most watched video.
Don't tell Jamie Perkins, his head will inflate. But Loxon, we challenge you to do better.
Yeah, we've been saying this for a while.
But like the feedback out of that was great. So one, we want to look at putting it in all the Meet the videos, and we'll definitely do it in like the new character videos and things like that.
Yeah, and we've given you a bit of a tidbit this time with the fish and kicking the ball off the pitch, so that's your one for this week.
There you go.
So there. But question 2, Chris.
We'll call it Bob's Tactics Corner.
We can.
Boom! New segment.
Chris have you been contacted by Persil yet?
Yes.
You need to get sponsored ASAP. Unfortunately, no. So, if any of you guys know anyone at Purcell, put them in touch. I could do with lots of free washing detergent. But yeah, that would be pretty cool. We have talked about this vaguely in the past with things, but we are primarily making this video and Guildballing for fun.
Yep.
We're not looking to be a commercial thing. We're not looking at making any money. So going down the sponsorship route, in all seriousness, so I know it's just a bit of a joke thing with me and Purcell, but I think it would kind of distort a little bit on how we want to do things. So.
But if Purcell come up,
But if someone can give me £1 million
Oh,
to be sponsored by Purcell, then
cool.
Go for it. But no, not yet. No, question 3, just a random question. What colour underwear are you guys wearing, and is it a match?
Bob, are you weird?
Bob.
We like Bob.
I'm not wearing underwear. Mine are just grey,
And I am black.
and you're grey and black.
Yeah.
I actually want to be GBI white and you GBI black, just because the white dice are the base.
Oh yeah, the white dice are probably cool.
So I think mine I say mine are white and yours are black.
Yeah,
And
no.
then that would just reinforce. Yeah. Moving on. Number 4. Bob, you need to let us know where you are, because you've got to come and film a video with us.
Do we like Bob?
You sound like a good chap.
Bob gets commenter of the week.
Would you like the engineer's bounty to be a ballista one, or would you be okay with it being a pin vice?
I've seen this being discussed over it. Honestly, I think it needs to be pin vice because there's a reason it's not happened with ballista.
Yeah. Otherwise, we're going to be here
If you keep it a ballista one, it won't happen, and 2, it's an engineer's bounty. The thing is, if we get this one done, we might get a new one.
If I'm honest, I think there is an issue with. I don't know if it's an issue with Ballista. I think it's an issue with the team setup as a whole. So I think Ballista is being unfairly scapegoated as the reason for the engineer bounty not going. And I actually think, as good intentions as Steamforged had with putting the bounty on and encouraging people to play them, I think it's actually had a detrimental effect in people's perception of them. They aren't bad. They really are not.
No, not at all.
A bad team. And I think, especially for new players,
Pin vice coming out will literally give them a new lease of life, and I think people are going to start seeing engineer play and go, oh, nice.
Yeah, and so I think it's actually been a bad thing for the community as a whole. I think people are jumping on that, especially for new players. So the sooner we get rid of it, the better.
Yep.
So I'm keen for just getting.
So Bob, thank you for getting involved in the questions, and you are my commenter of the week. I like those questions. Next up, we've got Paul Waters. I love Paul Waters. I've been chatting to him on the way.
Again, never met him, but.
He says he's coming to Vengeance. He's flying to Vengeance.
I'm excited about it.
Yeah.
Sodded us.
So he says, Field of Screams has come and gone. I have great things about Field of Screams.
I have.
Great day and lots of fun. We had an amazing top 10. Did you see the table that was on social media they built? It was beautiful.
It was amazing looking.
Should we do it like live, just to like pestering? I think you should bring it to Vengeance. Just saying.
Well, after we finished
We
answering
are not
this
responsible for any damages.
you can't bring on a plane though, can you?
No, true. But he says, we had an amazing top table built by a few guys at the club. Yeah, Don was sending me some lovely pictures of it. I hope you've seen the pictures. We have. So, my question is, how are you going to top this at Vengeance? Ooh! 1066 Wargaming want to issue a friendly challenge to see what pitches the community can come up with for their events. Now, to start planning Field of Screams 2. So, first, I am going to Field of Screams 2, when or wherever it may be. Well, I'm going to say it's going to be
I'm going to try.
We're going.
Yeah, we are going to go.
This is going to happen. That's first and foremost. And secondly, what a great idea.
Well, I think
a really cool little community.
I think it'd be amazing to have like a stadium, your own pitch for each event.
Do you know when I first got into Guild Ball, I messaged a bloke from the Hobbit community who builds a lot of terrain in America, and he designed me the most badass. I got pictures and everything. I'll find them for you. Yeah, he had like billboards. One side was open so you could get in and play. Yet the other 3 had stands, and it had a billboard with stave on. Oh man, it had lights, and it was cool. But the problem was the shipping was more from America. Was more expensive than the actual commission, and it broke my heart. But what a great idea!
We did have on a serious note, we did have a chat about this, about top tables and stuff, and we love the idea of stadiums. We're not sure whether we would have it as a top table.
Probably not a top table. I also because it's a very fun challenge, and I love that. I don't have the skill or ability to build something that even like look remotely like it. Mine would look like something a 5-year-old sent into Blue Peter.
And that wouldn't be fair to be on top table. So we want the top table to be quite.
It doesn't have to be top table. I think he just means. But you know what, guys? It is a great. And anyone listening who wants to build a pitch, I say you take up Paul's challenge and let's get on social media and build some really cool custom Guild Ball pitches. What a great idea!
I'll have a go. I'll try and do something.
Chris Hay's going to try.
It won't be anything like yours.
Chris Hay will present the Guild Ball informal version. But Paul, as always, cheers for the question. Look forward to seeing you at Vengeance, man.
It will just be a whitewashed table, completely white with Purcell written in the middle.
That'll do for me.
Yeah.
Cool. Next up.
So Paul Field, 8. Hey guys, great show. If you're looking to run your first tournament, what are the steps you need to take? We had a bit of a touch on this in last week's episode, I think.
Yeah, so it's your first tournament, so key thing is, and I think a key thing with any tournament is one thing we do when we announce a tournament is we absolutely spam social media. It's really cool to get a hype about it, so get on the Facebook groups, get your local players involved, get stuff sent out to people, have a chat with people, really talk up interest, because the good thing is if you can do that and get good numbers, you then get to a point where you can have an event sanctioned and Steamforge will provide prize support.
I think for us, the key was actually the work starts a long time before announcing the tournament.
Oh,
and for us, we spent a good few months, at all the tournaments we attended before, trying to find a date where people were available, talking to all the people that we knew were regular tournament attendees to see when we could get the most number of people. Have a look on the Guild Ball forums at the event schedule thing and make sure you're not clashing with any other events or big tournaments. We made a mistake, although now it doesn't look like a mistake, of having it the same weekend as that big War Machine kind of thing, which in hindsight probably wasn't the best timing, but it's worked out fine. We've got 128, but just try and get buy-in from local people. Make sure you've got quite a nice hub of local people going to start your numbers off, and then other people will come.
Another thing is speak to your pundits and people around you and get help and advice, because it's a great community and a great support network.
Yeah.
Good stuff. Next up, we've got Ian Ronel Navarro, and he says, I am a veteran event organiser from War Machine / Hordes, but very new to running Guild Ball events. I am reading through the latest organised play document for Guild Ball, and clocked out thing seems confusing at first glance. How often does this happen, and how often will an EO,
TO, I think,
maybe resolve multiple clocked out conditions when he's running the event by himself? Can you guys show how it's involved? So we're
do you know this is the Philippines?
Yeah, I do. These guys are really cool. One thing I'm going to say is just interject on the bit where you've asked for a step-by-step. We're actually looking at doing a tournament etiquette video where we're going to cover stuff like that. We'll also cover like step-by-step, the initial maintenance phase, what's on and off the clock, and clocked out. So that will be coming to you very soon. It's quite high up our priorities list. Regarding managing it, you see more clocked out games in the later rounds because people are more evenly paired with the Swiss ranking. A lot of players manage it themselves because they understand how it works. If not, you should be okay.
They're on. I mean, is it on the organised play document? Where is it?
It's in the organised play.
So I would print off a couple of copies of that just for when it happens, and you can give those to the players.
My tournament essentials, without a doubt, are rulebook, obviously, the organised play document. And if you go onto the Guild Ball forum, the collected clarifications thread.
And the errata, yeah.
Exactly.
Print off a copy of those.
Absolutely. And we'll try and do the etiquette and tournament timings video soon, so you can have a watch of that, bud. He then goes on to say...
Can you show how it's resolved step by step?
Which we will do, no problem. And he says, thanks and more power to Guild Ball Informer. Yes.
Yay.
Thank you, buddy. We always appreciate your question.
Next one is by Ian, mine. What is your favourite Greg's product? We need more questions like this that aren't particularly
Greg's product.
What's your favourite Greg's product?
Do you know what I love?
I've got one.
I'm addicted. Mine is the tomato soup, and I know it's just Heinz tomato soup.
Greg's?
Yeah. Even though it's soup of the day, it's always tomato, and I love Heinz tomato soup with a tuna sandwich.
So it's not a pastry. It's not a pastry.
It's from Greg's. I think it's valid.
Mine's a Yum Yums. You know what Yum Yum is?
Never heard of one. Oh, it's like those twizzy.
It's like a donut. It's like a twisty, hard donut thing, and it's covered in like sugar. It's like sugar glaze thing. They're amazing. So they're like a donut, but not a donut. so you don't look like a fat ass eating a donut, but you're eating some other pastry products. So as you can see,
Ian Marley, what's your favourite Greggs?
one of us likes Greggs more than the other.
what does Mr. Tumble eat from
But
Greggs?
what-
That's what
yeah.
I want to know.
Because he keeps going on about Stockport not having a Greggs, and that's why.
Does he?
it's-
I've
Yeah.
not seen that.
I thought that there was a Greggs, but
Stockport has a Greggs.
in the town there's not one near North West Gaming Centre, which I think is his only.
There's nothing in the
Okay, thanks for the question. Another one. We need more like that.
Go on, I'll get this one. Next up is Jesse H, and he says, thanks for answering my questions, guys. You're welcome, bud. Thanks for asking them. That's important for us.
It is.
I am a brand new pundit. Yes, you are. And in my area, I'm wondering if you have any tips for initial community building. Well, if you're a brand new pundit, bud, and apologies if you already are, get over and join the Guild Ball Pundits Facebook group and get on the pundit section of the forum, which is private just for pundits. There's a lot of conversation goes on in there about how people have run demo days. Very much speak to your fellow pundits and me. Get in touch with me, but I'd love to have a good chat about this because it's all about community building. The community is the key part of this game for me.
Get some posters up in your local gaming centre and have a regular night. I think that's key.
Yeah.
People know every X.
In the early days, we had Guild Ball Thursdays.
We did, and everybody knew on a Thursday.
It still goes
night,
on.
You would get a game.
Like in its peak, it was like 15 players, and this is like, like 15 players now, maybe regular in some places, but this was like back when the game dropped. It was crazy. So yeah, and then playing a demo day and games night and choose. We should really read on before we start.
I'm just interested if you have any other tips. Figo League Pack, get a League Pack, get a League going.
Absolutely, Figo Leagues are good. You can really. We're starting one next week at Altrincham War Games Club.
We are.
For Steve Crow of Top Table Wargaming. Shameless plug. We'll see if he watches his videos and comments. I don't think he will either. But thank you, Jesse. Good to speak to you, man. And we hope to hear from you next week.
Next one is from Jason Mountain, which I believe is the #1 battle hamster.
That's Jason Greenwood.
Oh, is it? Who? Jason Mountain? Do you know Jason Mountain?
No.
Apologies, Jason Mountain. Anyway, Honour and Smoke only female characters. So we was talking about last week when we were discussing female characters.
Yeah.
Esther's classed as a
forgot
female.
Esther's. She's a whole lot.
I was actually just
she's like a female and a half.
I was talking to Brad Zalad, who's a Brewers player, just today, and he has completely changed his opinion on Esther's. He really didn't like it to start with, and now he loves them. So yeah, we did miss her. So we do definitely need to have this female femme fatale match at some point when all the season 2 stuff is released.
Next up is the guy who keeps us going when we have a few questions. It's Pat Giles. I love Pat Giles. I'll be chatting to Pat Giles. He says, was curious about more in-depth model deployment. Obviously, terrain plays a huge part of where models go. Was hoping you could share the insight of optimal placement with fish, Alchemist Union, or wherever really. Let's do fish. I tend to like shark in the middle of the board. One, because if he kicks the ball to my opponent, he can threat the biggest area if he runs right up the middle and then kicks. It gives him a really huge scope. You used to see obviously people spread out. You see a lot of people now, if they're kicking the ball, clumping on one side of the pitch, especially the teams that want to bring you in close. They won't spread out because that means you will spread out, which is quite interesting. Anything to add to
that? For me, my main is thinking about where they're going to kick the ball and who is going to receive it, and that will be my main. Whoever goes in the middle, my best options. And the other one is kicking. I tend to kick with fish with Jack and kick it out to one side to make somebody come and get it and then push them off the pitch.
Yeah, you try and separate someone. The other thing I like to do is Fangtooth goes in the middle. And Shark will always be next to him because they're light-footed. Yeah. You've got to be careful of your rough grounds and stuff. He then goes on to say, my friend is rocking my Alchemist with Murder Ball Masons. His line is Honour Marbles, Brick, Tower, Mallet, and he alternates between Decimate and Chisel. It seems very hard to break through the +2 armour. I was hoping for tips or tricks. My Alchemist lineup was Midas, Flask, Vitriol, Mercury, Compound, and Mist. What should I steal with Midas? And any target priorities, and maybe swap for another model. That's a slot. Drop Mercury. Take Mercury out and put Venin or Hemlock.
Hemlock or Decimate yourself.
Decimate's great because does he have anatomical?
Yes.
So he's going to ignore a point. Decimate's actually a really good shot.
And momentous damage, and then you can use Midas and Decimate and Vitriol to focus on.
So he's got second wind, which is really good. He's also got his damage is momentous with a dodge, so he's very nimble. And like you say, he knows a point of armor, so he's going to really guarantee getting those hits through. So I would say put Decimate into that team.
What would you steal? Tools up. Tool up,
the thing is, like I was saying this when we played, I wanted to, because if you tool up and then after your first hit,
tool up. Midas can tool himself up as well.
Well, he can tool himself up and then after his first hit do his heroic.
And he's +2 damage.
Like if he gets one hit,
he's getting
if
3
you
damage.
get one hit through, it's 3 damage.
7 and well 6 if you've tooled yourself up. So you're doing 6,
18.
12, 18 damage on someone.
17 because the first one's less. But you're going to smash stuff up and likely you will get some of the higher damage thresholds as well. So try that out and let us know how it goes, bud. And then he says, great character plays, Chris. Those were super fun. I thought of one myself. Thoughts on a friendly harpoon play, but make it so you do have to roll to succeed. That's interesting.
Yeah.
Make it be OP.
Well, you can move your own models around.
Yeah, so if someone's like bogged down, you can just pull them out. It'd have to be expensive.
I love that idea, only because in Malifaux I used to play with Kalani, and he used to be able to make his own models move about and stuff, so that was pretty cool.
Mm.
But yeah, rolling to hit would be good as well, because you obviously, maybe if you do damage as well, you throw it in your damaging your own model to move them. Maybe.
He then says, kind of along with my question about when to use guild blocks, how about unpredictable movement? Use it right away, or hold and see what happens later? I think for that you very much need to assess the table and see if any other models can reach you, etc., and which one you're going to want to dodge out of the most. Melee ranges and things are worth taking into account. If you're going to use it when a 1-inch model with a load of influence goes at you is always the ideal.
Well, yeah, if somebody's just charged you and that's the only 2 influence they've got, it might be worth thinking about, or maybe just take it and don't unpredictable.
Yeah, the beauty of like Midas is like unpredictable counter.
Yeah.
Or like unpredictable, I've got clone up and I counter, and things like that.
Yeah.
Midas is great. He then says, in your opinion, what is the best looking model sculpt? Well, this has just changed for me. It now alternates between 2 that we've seen in the last 10 days, which is the new Mist and Theron. With Avarice and Greed firmly behind.
What was the best looking model? I love Rage too.
You love that Rage, don't you? He's a beast. So yeah, what's yours, Pat? Do you find yourself always taking out models back on with 1 icy sponge, or do you leave them off? I always bring them on. I like the influence. The way I play my fish, I need all the influence.
I was going to say the only team I don't is with fish. If I'm scared of them taking me out and they're only taking me out, I have
very much to play. If their team is spread across the board, you're probably not going to. You're going to bring someone on. It's always nice to jog them on so they are completely out of all threat ranges. That's key. It's very much placement where you bring them on. And then he says, obviously you've already had an amazing turnout for Vengeance. But what 2 teams would you like to see playing in the finals? And if you could, what guild plots would you give to each team? So in the finals, I would like to see Fish versus Hunters.
Union versus Union.
No.
No, I would like to see. I'd like to see Hunters, although I would be worried that people would be jumping on the Hunters are overpowered bandwagon straight away just because they get in the final in the first tournament. But I would love like an Engineer Alchemist final, just because
Masons.
we haven't seen too much.
I don't care what's in the
Engineers
final. I just want to be
bounty,
watching that last
Avengers.
game. That's going to
That'd
be
be
cool. So, cheers for the question, Pat. And as always, we love your questions, buddy. We can't wait to hear from you next week.
Next one is Gary Green. With the release of Veteran Rage, can Season 1 Rage still be used in the 4 teams that he can ally with?
Yes.
Now that the Hunters Guild release is imminent, what are your hopes? So first one, Veteran Rage. So normal Rage can still be used by the Union.
Season 1 Rage.
It's only when you're playing Veteran Rage, he cannot be used in the same team. So you can't have both Rage models in the same team. You can play either or.
Yep.
So you can still play Blackheart with old Rage, and you can still play.
This is a customer announcement. The library will be closing in 15 minutes' time.
This is why we're rushing.
Personal belongings and make your way to the exit doors. Thank you.
So yeah, Veteran Season 1 Rage can still be played in the 4 teams he can play for, and he can be played with Blackheart. But if you're playing Veteran Rage, Season 1 Rage can't be in the same team, but he can be in the opposing team.
So what are your hopes and fears for the rest of the Season 2? Just different stuff. I don't want more.
Yeah, something that just really makes you think of new ways to play the game.
Yeah. Ollie Cullen again. Do you feel a Pundit Assassination Award is a good thing?
He's showing off because he played like pundits most rounds at Grinstead and smashed them. But no,
is this what he's
because
got?
then I think it was Sam Page stepped up and just annihilated him. So that's all good. So Ian Miley, he says, who is your favourite Season 2 player, not including captains, and why? Mine is going to be Sakana or Hoist. You?
Yeah, Sakana for me.
Sakana's a beast.
Yeah, I love him.
And he also says, apologies for all the questions, just trying to keep you in business. Cheers, bud. We appreciate it. We need it.
Jason Mountain next. In a Facebook comment I made a while ago, I asked if Puppet Master could be used to make the target move to the ball, snap the ball to, then continue its move and unsnap the ball. At the time, I said it wasn't allowed, but I still don't really understand why not. How is this different to passing the ball, unsnapping the ball, and making the 4-inch dodge? I've commented on this to say I'll explain, so I'll explain now. Basically, it's all down to when you can unsnap the ball. You can only unsnap the ball during a model's activation, so that model needs to be in their own activation, and because all of Puppet Master happens outside of an activation, you can move a model, they can snap the ball to, because that can be done out of activation. They are the active model, but the distinction is between an active model and during your activation, and because the model is not during its activation when it's moving, it cannot unsnap the ball. So you can't Puppet Master somebody to unsnap the ball. You can only Puppet Master them to pass it, to move, or to attack.
This is why I love you, because I'd have just gone no and not had the brain power to explain.
So there you go, Jason. I hope that clears things up. So you can do everything apart from unsnapping the ball. And they did do a clarification of this just to make sure, and it's just to ensure that you can't do too much with Puppet Master. So there you go.
Question 2.
Question 2. Sorry. Now that a member of Battlehammer has won a tournament, do you fear this may be a sign that the end times are upon us and Armageddon is imminent?
Yes.
So I didn't have a power cut. I've had a power cut ever since Parker won a tournament.
I'm terrified to close my eyes. All I see is orange.
I've not been to sleep since.
I need to win another.
Good on you, Parker.
Thank you for the question, bud.
Well, there was only him and Straw on it in the tournament.
It was. So next up is Martin Walters, and he says, here goes, number 1. Are the bogs at Vengeance as bad as the rumours I've heard? If so, are there any nearby blind spots or foliage to take a dump in? I might have to avoid a group. They're not as bad. They do have a bit of a stigma, but we have took it upon us as TOs and publicly said we are going to make sure they are fully stocked and clean throughout the weekend, so do not worry. And question 2, Esters or Tapper for the Brewers? Tapper all day long.
Tapper still for me, but I've not had enough experience there.
Lots of
Speak
influence.
to Brad Zalad, he'll tell you it's Esters.
And he can one-hit someone. If we're rushing, we apologise. You heard the 15-minute one and we're going to get shot. And he says, I have my first tournament at Bradford coming up and not yet played a game. Swiftly followed by Leeds and then Vengeance. Yes, Vengeance. Who's the best captain for a noob? Shark or Ox? Fish and Butchers are the two easy teams to learn with. And how far will Guild Ball go? Season 3, Season 4, before Steamforge do something new? Cheers, chaps. Loving all the Guild Ball content on social media. Well, we are glad you like it, my friend. That's why we do it. I think Guild Ball's got loads of legs. I've heard this talked about like that. I think it's going nowhere. It has proven in year 1, like, how big the game's got, and the fact we sold out a 1 to 8 man event is going nowhere. So thank you for the question, my friend. And next up, yet again,
Ian Marley. So Siren has a passive ability that reduces character plays by -5 range if directly targeting her. If, say, Shank hits a player and manages to get a double guild ball from his playbook, can target another model as it has a 6-inch range. Would this be reduced to 1 if targeting Siren, or does this not count? I think it negates her because you're not targeting her directly. You're using this character play off a playbook, and it's the same with...
I don't agree, because you're still triggering a character play, and I'm sure the wording of Siren's play is character plays that target this model.
Okay, well, we'll have to... We're
going to disagree on that one. Usually we would probably grab the rules on our phone, but we can't do that, so we will pop a note in your question for next week, because Ian will
But for me, it's like, because it's a good way of getting around other abilities that trigger when you specifically target somebody, like fear and things. It's a way of getting around.
True.
That. So
we'll agree to disagree now, and we will have a look. We'll go and have a look. We'll go and have a look. And then, is this the last one?
W, yes. So I played it in my first tournament a couple of weeks ago. I took my Dirty Union and feel like Gutter wins games. I only lost 1 game to the Alchemist because I wasn't using Gutter. I feel like the changes made to her still don't make her harder to use or slow her down. It should be noted that I am in a relatively new US meta. Do you think that they could change Gutter to bring her to a reasonable damage point? If yes, how? Do you think she currently is fine? If so, why? Also, Chris, what is your go-to team for Alchemist Midas? My go-to team is just dropping Gutter, putting in Decimate or somebody else like that, maybe Minx, somebody else that they can't steal stuff from. I think Gutter is in an alright place.
She's there now.
I think perhaps if maybe some of her damage wasn't momentous.
No, do you know the one thing, which I don't think is now necessary, but if I think would be acceptable, drop Anatomical.
Agreed. Yeah, I think with
But
this,
I don't think it needs that now. I think she's okay now.
I think.
But
She's alright.
if someone said you have to change something else about gutter, for me it would be remove anatomical. But I like her where she is now. She's not like got that stigma when you go against her across the table.
Yeah, I think it was her threat names that was such a big issue.
And the fact she could just draw you in and stuff, it was great.
I think to get Scything Blow off, it needs quite a bit of setup now, and people are kind of wising up to it.
So Tackle W, thank you for the question, and that is it. And so 2 things, amazing show of questions this week. We are
thank you.
massively appreciative.
Sorry we rushed.
Yeah, we apologise. You heard the 15-minute warning, but we really wanted to get this recorded for you because we did say the more questions you ask, the more regular we will make these videos. We hope you've enjoyed them, got some painting done, and we will make sure we've got a bit more time in the library next time, won't we?
Yeah, we'll bring our proper camera.
But we wanted to get this out to you, so we hope you've enjoyed it. Maybe got some painting done or sat watching us. Anyway, as always, what do we hope to do?
Please comment, share, like, and subscribe.